So it's Wednesday, a little bit later than advertised due to last minute technical hitches, but that's what happens on live streams. But this is episode 2 of Loaded Lounge. Good evening, welcome to episode 2 of Loaded Lounge with me, Richy. So, as I said, last minute technical issues there. Hopefully, we'll get it all sorted. But the lads from Shade are in the green room, so I'll add them to the stream now. Good evening, lads. How are you? You all right?
You all right?
Hello. Good evening.
Right. Great to have you on the show. I've been speaking to your manager, Paul, for a matter of months after catching you on Spotify. Found the music absolutely fantastic, which we'll talk about a little bit later on and go through some of your tracks. And so I was pleased to get you on the show. So thank you very much for agreeing to come on. But as I said to Paul, we're a music show and a football show. So the first starting point that we'll have with the show today is we've got to talk about the weekend, haven't we? Really. So. And I know we've got to go there. Do you know what I mean? Because there's obviously there's a fair bit of the Manchester connection there with the England team as well, with obviously current players and also ones that are joining as well. So how did you feel on Sunday evening and then Monday morning? Obviously the actual final and then obviously the aftermath and what happened afterwards.
Go on, you can start. Well, yeah.
Therapy session.
I think I was upset when we lost, but then obviously first final in 55 years, we've proved so many people wrong, and I was just more proud of the players. Obviously, the amount of young talent that we've got in the side as well to pretty much carry us to an international final was like amazing, but. I was gutted, obviously. To lose on penalties as well was the worst way to lose. But
I think it's always the worst way to lose, though, isn't it? But you see,
proud.
I think it's it's probably a new thing for you. Obviously, you're a Man United fan and Man City fans, which obviously we'll discuss near at the end of the show. But you're probably not used to losing like I am. You see, I'm a Newcastle fan. We never get the finals or anything like that. So last time we got to a final was in the late 90s. You know what I mean, at the FA Cup. So it's like it's nothing new to me. I'd have been more shocked if we'd won something, not knowing what to do. But there you go. But yeah, I agree. It was you look back in hindsight, 55 years since our last major final. So I completely agree with you. It was a fantastic achievement, especially with how little experience we had in the team as well. Like people like Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice to usurp Jordan Henderson and make the midfield their own. But I personally, I think one person I thought would have been used a lot more. I thought he would have caused problems would be Jadon Sancho, which obviously we'll talk about a little bit later on with him obviously being a new addition to your guys' team and be wearing the red shirt of Manchester this year. But so was there anybody else, any better views or thought we could have done better than or?
No, I think. Well, I mean, to be honest, before the tournament started, I'm sceptical anyway about England. I'm not really bothered, but when it got to like the semis, I was a bit excited. Now, when Shaw scored, that was like the best moment of my life. I thought like nothing could ever bring me down, but it quickly crashed. But no, I was proud of everyone. I think, I was proud of like you said, I was proud of the kids that come in and work. When I first saw Calvin Phillips on the team sheet against Croatia, I was a bit pissed off, to be fair. But he proper played well, and I think after Tuesday I was all right. Monday I was horrible.
Yeah,
I'm very proud of him now.
Yeah, I felt exactly the same. I mean, I think some of the aftermath of what happened on like Sunday night and Monday morning, which is unfortunately the bad side of English culture with some of the hooligan football and the racists out there. We set a tweet out yesterday on Monday saying we completely condone what happened to the three lads. Do you know what I mean? We're talking lads in the early 20s who
That's it.
are doing more things to the benefit our country than probably these lads ever have. Have criticised them. They've got the weight of the country, millions of people on the shoulders, and they miss a penalty. Anybody can miss a penalty. Do you know what I mean? I've missed umpteen penalties. I bet you lads have missed umpteen penalties, which have meant out. Do you know what I mean? On a five-a-side pitch or a Sunday League pitch or whatever. But taking one in a Euro final, I think you can give the lads some cut them some slack. Do you know what I mean? So
a lot of people have let this country down the past few days. Like, to be honest, it's really upset me. It's upset me more than losing.
It has, well, because we've had a discussion in the house with the rest of the family. I mean, Mrs. was saying, we should never ever hold a major tournament after what happened. And she's saying, and I keep saying it's the minority, which is the thing is though, what's classed as a minority nowadays? There's millions of football fans out there who go and watch football with their kids, with their friends, and don't do that. And then obviously you've got, obviously several thousand in the grand scheme of it is a minority, but unfortunately that minority, it tars us with a bad brush. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't sit well by me either. Do you know what I mean? So, but tell you what we'll do is we'll get over the depressive side of football, and we'll get on one of the main reasons that we've got you on the show, and that's to hear your music. So I'm going to start off with your first single, Never Die, because I think it was a fantastic way to kickstart your career. And then what we'll do is after we've played the track, we'll start talking a bit more about yourselves and what Shade's all about. Okay, so this is Never Die by Shade.
Shadow
I mean, I have played a bit of game of FIFA.
But that's class. Yeah, it's a quality. To tell you what, that's some way to put a debut single. That mind, it's a hell of a way to start your musical career. So hats off to you there, lads. Absolutely quality tune. So what? Tell us what Shade's all about. How did you got started? How long you been going and stuff like that.
Me and Oliver, we've been in the band since school, so how long? About 5 years ago now, isn't it?
2000 and
don't know, too long ago.
Whatever.
Just playing covers in pubs and that, and it was having a bit of fun. And then we ended up writing some songs, and there were some really good songs, so we thought I'd take it to the next level. As we got into college, we found Ben, and he was too good at guitar to say no to. He was just brilliant, so he joined. And then we needed the bass player, and we thought Adam's brother played bass.
No, before everyone he could think of, and then went, oh, actually, fucking he'll do.
Because we had, we were a 3-piece originally. We had another bass player, my mate Tom.
But he joined the army because he's too good for us.
Yeah,
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So how dare he join the army?
I know.
Actually, no, he don't me a favour.
Selfish. So it became a foursome.
And he didn't want to stay. He just thought, I'll join for a bit. Well, we found someone else, and he ended up staying. So here we are.
He just thought you joined for a little bit of crack and stuff like that, and then he's enjoying the ride so far.
He just fell in love with my voice.
So, we played the Bread Shed in Manchester. I don't know if you've heard of it, but after that game, I went, you know what? I can't not do this.
Yeah. You get a different sort of buzz, don't you, when you start getting the live gigs? You know, I've never been in a band as such, but I've done shows and stuff like that. The buzz you get off an audience is quality. So you can't.
Rush. Like we played a gig after what about a year, more than a year. We played it a few weeks ago. It was electric. Like it felt natural to us.
It's weird though because everyone was sat down.
Yeah,
it's like you're playing, the proper going for it, and everyone just sort of sat there with a drink and that. But then when the song finishes, everyone sort of stands up and claps. So it's like you can't tell if they're enjoying it or it's weird. But
yeah,
4 days would be right.
Good response.
But that's good. You know what I mean? I think one of the things, as you've mentioned, and obviously from our brief talk, we can gather you from Manchester, so it's quite a hard sort of thing to go with because Manchester's got such a huge reputation for bands. You know, obviously everyone's, you talk like Oasis and stuff like that, and there's always going to be comparisons to that. But I think every band in its own right can have their own sound and stuff like that. And I think you guys have got a phenomenal sound. I really do. It was one of the things that when I was searching out for bands for the show, and I caught you. I just thought, love that. Do you know what I mean? I just thought it's absolutely fantastic. I think Jump Into Heaven's a quality song. Love that. And the Test of Time, your new one, I think it's an absolutely great song. It's probably your best so far. So obviously that's
I disagree.
Sorry?
I strongly disagree. I don't
Me
like
and
it.
Ben love it. MC rate it.
It's either love or hate thing. It's like Marmite in a song.
So what would you say your favourite is then?
No one's heard it yet, and I'm not allowed to
Yeah,
tell you.
no one's heard it.
No, that's fine. That's okay. Well, I'll rephrase the question. What would you say is your favourite song that you've released so far?
Mine would be Test of Time.
I'm gonna jump into heaven.
Yeah.
Test of Time. Yeah, I don't know. Head in the Clouds I like as well. But
That's a live song.
Yeah.
It's not great recorded.
I like playing Head in the Clouds, but to listen to
It's a different song live.
Jump Into Heaven for me. Yeah.
I think we're much better live.
Yeah, we're a better live band.
You have to say this. People turn up.
I completely agree because you can try different things and some music's meant to sound better live, if that makes sense. It doesn't. You don't get you can add a few little twists and nuances to your music and your sound and stuff that you can't sometimes do in a recording studio. So I completely agree with you on that. So obviously you've been going for it's about 3 years now, isn't it? 3 years. Sorry, 2018 was it?
Yeah,
3 years.
Yeah,
long enough.
long enough.
Yeah.
So how was it? How was the career going before lockdown put a pause to it from like the live side of things, should I say?
It was going really well.
Yeah.
And fast. I was just about to sort of break through into the scene, and it's just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll start that again.
But saying that,
Yeah.
I think over lockdown we did like sort of build a bit of a reputation on like social media and that, which was still is massive. We proper made a name for ourselves. Like Luke did covers, which was they were sick. So we just
it gives us time to practice and all, and sort of think out. We've got about a year until we can play live, so let's just become the best we can.
Wrote a couple of
two of our best songs as well in lockdown, really. Yeah, me just like sending videos to Luke and then him sending it back, and like
it's really weird to
like that.
do stuff that way, but it worked out well.
I think one of the things I've obviously doing the show for a few weeks now and talking with the band. One thing we've stated is how a lot of people have thought lockdown paused some of your careers. It does on the live side of things, but I think with the strength of how social media is now, it allows you to still get your music out there. Because as I mentioned on the show last week that we did with Parade, before starting to do the show and discovering all the fantastic new music that's out there, like I'm 41-year-old, I was stuck in my own old ways listening to stuff I grew up when I was your sort of age. So we're talking like Oasis, the rest of your indie pop, stuff like that. And then all this lockdown brought me back into the new music side of things. And some of the bands that are out there that we've had on the show that we, and are played on our Partners Away Day radio every day, pretty much. And you think, how on earth are they not signed? How are they not heard of even more? Because some of the music is absolutely phenomenal. But I think it's also worked well, the fact that you can focus on how you want your career to go. How you can start to fine tune your sound rather than perhaps mix around too much or something like that. So some bands experiment a lot. Some people refocus on to know exactly where they want to go, and I think that social media side of thing, and the fact that how easy Spotify is how accessible that is for unsigned new music, gets your music out there to a greater audience than you would have done 25 years ago, when you literally had to be signed and have your tunes mainstream played on radio to get yourself out there. So since lockdown's lifted, and obviously we're starting to return to some sort of normality, what have you got lined up for the future?
I've got a lot of gigs, a lot of new music, a lot of music videos, just everything we can.
We sold out our first gig back off the square in Manchester. We sold 150 tickets there. So that's
2 weeks that sold out.
Yeah, 2 weeks. That's 6th of August. You can't come because you've not got a ticket. But
no. Not like rubbed it in, like, isn't it?
We lined up that we can't say just yet, but it's very exciting for us.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do is, before we discuss a bit more about the band, I'm going to play another song for you. And what I'm going to play is your version of Head in the Clouds, which I think was recorded at Silk Studios, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so what was that like to record?
Sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, what was it like to record? Obviously, at Silk Studios.
It was the hottest day in the world.
To be fair, we made the mistake of like.
Oh, we had a gig the day before, and we ended up in a hot tub
till about 5 in the morning. So it wasn't very nice.
I think we learned a lot that day.
Yeah,
you can see the pain in our eyes.
I don't think we've had Mackey's breakfast since, had we?
No.
We had about 8 McMuffins.
We almost got into a car crash on the way up.
Yeah.
That's a breakfast for champions, isn't it?
Anyway, this is Head in the Clouds
live
when we're hungover.
Yeah.
She's on her right feet, just hasn't coming around.
Another class song, lads. But I tell you what, the first thing I noticed, you've all just said what a hot day it was, and look at the size of the coats you were wearing.
I know.
Right, tell Paul about
That's
that.
Paul, that.
We have to wear coats constantly. Not our choice, it's against our will.
Tough as well.
Yeah.
We're gonna book a tour in Alaska.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be freezing for it.
I must say that it seems to be quite a common theme because I was speaking to Paul a few weeks ago, and he put me onto his show with Mark Radcliffe, which was on Sky. Now I must say that it was a hell of a show, man, and to get the pull of someone like Mark Radcliffe promoting and getting him on his show with all the history that he's had with Radio 1, Radio 2, all that sort of stuff. That's great going. And to be fair, you all had your coats on for that as well. And that looked hot as well.
Really warm.
Was we going over that day?
No,
we're sensible.
Yeah. These fair play. Paul gets us on all these, like Paul, Darren from the label. They work hard for us, so we really appreciate it.
We just turn up and disappoint everybody.
I'm all right because I can wear shorts and a t-shirt, whatever I do. So.
We're not allowed to, and he doesn't sweat. Superhuman.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I'm surprised because I've seen obviously on some of the videos and obviously the live shows. He does get into his guitar playing, doesn't he? So I'm surprised with that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you later.
Sorry.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. So, what was it actually like playing for Mark Radcliffe? Was he actually there in the studio with you, or?
Well, he was supposed to be.
Yeah, he wasn't there.
We're coming for you, Mark.
He didn't
turn up for us.
No. But he's obviously the sound engineers were there and stuff like that, and they were good.
Yeah, they were brilliant.
Yeah, lovely bunch of guys.
And the camera.
I think that the main positive for us though is the fact that Mark Radcliffe, he vets all the bands he gets on. So to get that sort of, encouragement at this start of your career, really, that's a great, endorsement. So I don't know, have you got anything else that lined up like that with anybody else that you can tell us about, or are you still?
We did. But it's out now, isn't it? We went to the London one. We went to London for like another live session sort of thing.
What was that? Get on TV.
Get on TV.
Get up.
No.
That'll be in the link in our bio.
Yeah, it's on Instagram anyway.
It's £3 a month, but you can get on a free trial and then just
cancel it.
That's what I did. Well, yeah, that was good. And then we did. Before that, we went to the Ferret in Preston for another live.
No, that was really good. That
was another good one.
We're on TV more than we had gigs recently.
Yeah, literally. So.
And I've not even got Sky, so I'm not seeing it.
Well, Darcy works on the podcast as well. He's actually came up with a good excuse for your coat, and he's put down. You're just saving time when you tell lasses that you pulled just to get your coat. You've already got your coat.
Yeah.
Just bend that.
My girlfriend's watching this.
So we've got, as I mentioned earlier on, we have a partnership with Away Day Radio. So this show actually goes out on Away Day Radio as well later on in the week. And Dino, who's one of the management of Away Day Radio, he's been in the chat as well tonight. He's asked you a question because he loves your sound, but he wants to know what sort of bands or artists would you compare yourselves to?
Well,
I think
sound,
you can hear everything. Everything we listen to, you can hear straight away.
Yeah, I don't want to sound biased, but I don't think we sound like anybody, to be honest.
I feel like you did mention it before, when you said the sound brings you back to maybe the 90s, but I think we've progressed since then through lockdown. I think we've got quite a psychedelic sound.
Yeah, there's not been a lot of
psychedelic sound.
There's not been
We're
a lot
trying to focus on that too much. It's just we do what we do.
Yeah.
It sounds like someone else.
There's not been a lot to listen to us of as well, like because of we've changed a lot in lockdown. Our sound has changed a little bit more as well. So I think people might still think that we, have that little bit of Oasis-y sound in us, but with
I think that's pretty much a bit of a lazy reference, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think that's just the Manchester connection.
Every band in Manchester constantly gets Oasis.
Especially because we're brothers as well. It's like we get it all the time. It's just we want to come away from that.
Yeah.
Like,
leave it out.
Nothing to do with them.
Magazines and like they're always saying, like
it's
Oasis.
just lazy journalism at this point.
Yeah, we're nothing like Oasis.
Well, they were just like Beatles, and they were just like someone else. It's all there's not new anymore. It's all got to come from
Going
somewhere.
full circle.
I think the only thing that you'd like to be compared with the Oasis is if you can have the same career as them.
Oh, yeah, that'd be all right.
Yeah, please.
I'd like to be
Yeah.
a penny behind.
Well,
I love the money, yeah.
Go bigger.
Yeah. We're better. I think we're better, but I want the money.
Yeah, money be nice.
Yeah.
So obviously, what I'll do is I'll retwist that question around a bit. So obviously, that's that. Dino's asked you about who you compare yourself to. Who would you say your influences are growing up?
We all have different ones.
Yeah, I think that's why it's.
We would know not like
Not
across
one
the,
of us like the same sort of artist that much. Apart from the Beatles, we all sort of meet on Beatles and ABBA.
yeah, that's true.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
So who
no one doesn't like ABBA.
Apart from him.
Yeah, I think everyone likes the Beatles, don't they?
Exactly.
Favorite band?
I don't have one. Really don't.
Favorite band?
Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, Stone Roses. They're the main three.
Favorite band?
Shade.
Shade. Well,
That's
yeah.
the right answer.
Oh, well, favorite artist, I should say, for you.
Luke Owens.
Yeah, probably going.
Well,
I love the jam at top.
BD as well. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Mine's Arctic Monkeys, Royal Blood. You know, keep it simple.
You'd never.
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned the Arctic Monkeys because I think your brother looks like the lead singer.
Yeah, you know what, right?
He used to have a little phase where he dressed like Alex Turner.
Right.
Put his hair back like Alex
Throughout
Turner.
end of high school, start of college, I dye my hair black, right?
He even grew his
You
nose to look
know
like
what? If you're bored, go on my Facebook, you'll find it. It's not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did.
Did actually look like
And I used to
properly.
impersonate Boris Johnson. Back in again, though.
I could do his voice.
No, you're definitely loads better than Boris Johnson, mate. I tell you that. So, just obviously, you've touched on your headline gig in August, which is already sold out. What's it going? Is this going to be your first headline show that you've done, or is it just your first headline show since the obviously lockdown restrictions have lifted?
Well, we played one at the Loose Cannon.
Jimmy's
was brilliant. That was a great venue that we had on there.
So yeah, it's the first one in a long time.
Rebellion was the last one. The Oasis.
We didn't headline that.
Oh right, yeah. That was the last one.
Yeah, we spotted an Oasis, which we probably shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, that was a bad.
It's what like the one with Jimmy's was with This Feeling.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of help from them, but this is probably the one we've done on our own, sold out just through us.
Because it's helped. Lockdown has helped as well because obviously we've got a bigger following.
I think everyone wants to get back out again.
People want to come and see us now because of the stuff we've been putting out. So I'm excited. Yeah.
Well, Martin, who also does the music side with us on the podcast, he's also asked you where would be a dream venue for yourselves to play?
So you know what? If we ever got big, I would love to go back and play a tiny pub because I love playing the tiny places, like Jimmy's or proper little dingy pubs. I love it.
Frigate.
Yeah, I used to play this pub called the Frigate years ago, and it's not meant for bands at all. It's just a pub, and it's brilliant atmosphere. It's always the best atmosphere.
But seriously, Wembley, that'd be nice.
Yeah, because I think I would say Old Trafford.
Oh yeah, it's got to be Old Trafford.
Yeah, Old Trafford, but not Old Trafford Cricket Ground. Old Trafford.
North Pole.
Yeah.
The Theatre of Dreams.
But surely that's gonna is that not going to be a conflict of interest with obviously some blues in the band as well?
We'll do one at the Etihad as well. Etihad.
Well, Old Trafford's falling apart. It might not even be up there by the time we play.
At least we'll fill it when we play.
I suppose the only in the middle type thing you could do is actually go to the cricket ground.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Maybe.
Yeah, most bands play there now anyway. It's very rare you get a band at Old Trafford.
Only Rolling Stones did it, I think. Yeah. Or the MEN. I think the Manchester Arena would just be.
Yeah, if you could sell out that'd be
class.
Yeah. We'd have a bit money.
Or headline Glastonbury, but that's not really,
a big festival.
Yeah.
It's quite funny you obviously said that about going with like Glastonbury and Field stuff because Martin's just put another comment in and it's going down what we talked about before about having a similar career to Oasis, and he said aim for Nebworth.
Oh, that'd be class.
Nebworth.
See, you think so? Going back to Glastonbury, I think the sound's shit there. Like, there's so many bands who no, seriously. You know, the Who have complained. You've got so many bands that complain about the sound. It's that big.
It might be because there's that many stages that's going on at once.
Nebworth was.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to play there, but I don't think it'd be dream.
Glastonbury have gone right. They're not playing next year.
Yeah, you've blotted your copyright now, haven't you? Copybook now, haven't you?
Yeah. Paul's going to shout at me now.
Yeah.
I think that it's good though because there's so many different festivals out there. There's even like festivals that are on a smaller scale as well, which give you stepping stones to the bigger ones as well. So, have you got anything like that lined up for this? The end of the summer. Now we're starting to know with the restrictions from Monday being completely relaxed, because there's been a lot of festivals that have been cancelled this year because nobody knew what they what they were able to do, what they weren't able to do. So. Did you have any lined up, and then you've obviously had to miss out on that, or have you still got some lined up?
I think the plan was to plan for next year because everyone's going to be hammering these gigs this year. It's just it might not happen. So we said if we go for next year, get as many as we can, then we know they're not going to be cancelled.
Kendall will be nice. I think we've spoke about it, haven't we? But we've never got on it. Kendall calling.
So Kendall calling, if you're watching, get us on. We're going to have a strongly worded email.
Yeah, it's got a fantastic following, Kendall calling, especially for a lot of new music bands as well. They really support the new music as well. So I think it's a really good festival to be part of because it's recognised as well. It's not just one of these, they don't plug it very well. They still get some really good, headline acts to go along as well. So it's a really good size festival. It's good for you guys as well. So it's definitely one to aim for. Martin's also chipped back in again. He says, "Don't forget Dublin," because there's two of the lads from the podcast are in Ireland, and unfortunately, none of the lads can get over at the minute. But it seems to be no one gets over there either. So he always asks, "Don't ever forget Dublin if you can do any gigs anywhere."
I'm sure there's like a sort of big festival over there. I'm sure Foo Fighters played there. I swear they played.
Are you thinking of Scotland?
Nah. Countries. Put in the comments if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because I swear Foo Fighters played somewhere near Dublin, like this massive field, and somewhere in the Rattlesnakes were there. What they called?
Yeah, that field in Dublin.
John and the Rattlesnakes were there. My mate Brad went. Brad, if you're watching, what was it called?
Yeah.
We'll put it in the comments when we find out.
Martin, if you know what it is, just put it in the chat and we can obviously mention it to the lads.
Yeah.
So what I'll do now is, lads, I'm gonna I'll play another tune for you, and this time I'm gonna play "Jump Into Heaven," if that's okay with you.
Yeah, it's cool.
Good choice.
So this is "Jump Into Heaven" by Shade. One of the reasons why I love that song got me like into shade. I absolutely love that song, lads. It's seriously good crack. And I must say, watching you off stage when the songs are on is also a good crack as well, mind.
We thought you couldn't see us.
Oh shit!
It's probably just as well everyone doesn't see you, to be fair. So just before we move on to the next few songs,
Harry Styles got it.
Harry Styles is he being compared to the look like? I know you saw Daz's comment before about Gary Neville.
It looks like Gary Neville.
I don't know. I'll have to ask Daz if he's still there. Who looks like Gary Neville? And also, Martin got back in touch regards the Foo Fighters. And I don't know whether you saw, but it was Slane Castle that played.
Right.
That's the one.
Heard of that. We're actually
Yeah. There you go. That's answered the question.
Thank you.
So just before we go on to talk football and stuff like, there's a few little plugs we've got to do promotion wise. So just to give a shout out to our partners who are Away Day Radio, where the show's going to be going out live over the next few days. So thanks very much to Dino and everyone for the partnership with us, getting all the new music out there to get it heard. Because guys like these and other bands that we have on the show really, really need your support. And it's fantastic to get them out there on that. Also, if you go into stuff like Mind, Body and Soul as well. Now, Mind, Body and Soul do a lot of fantastic work for men's mental health within the way that the world is nowadays. Now, what they do is they don't go out there and put loads of money into random stuff. What they do is they actually put money in people's pockets who need it most. So you might not be able to get your bus fare to work for whatever reason. You might be struggling to pay your rent or your gas and electric bills, something like that. But that's a stressful thing that could cause a lot of problems further down the line. Now, one thing that they do is they do a fantastic range of merchandise that really fits the scene that we do with like Away Day Radio. The t-shirts are all color coded to go with your Adidas 3-stripe trainers and stuff like that. You can go on the website, Mind, Body and Soul, and anything that they actually sell, all profits go towards the charity to help out people in need. So get yourself out there, and if you like your 3 stripes retro band type looks, they've got a t-shirt that matches the trainers that you'll wear. Put it that way, so you can color code your wardrobe while you're out there. Also, while we're on there, and we do have a competition to give away 2 tickets to our partners Away Day Radio gig at the Bank Holiday weekend in August. Headline act, the Institutes, but they're supported by The Drift, Athens, The Astras, Jay Tennant, and Miles Cheshire. That's at the HMV Empire in Coventry on Sunday, the 29th of August, 2021. And we have 2 tickets to give away. Now, the question that we are going to set is going to be shade related. And we touched on it briefly at the start. What we actually wanted to say was, in what year was Shade formed? So get your answers in the chat or on the Twitter feed, and we will announce the winner this time next week. So the question is, in what year was Shade formed? So there you go, lads. So, lads, footy talk.
Yeah,
Manchester. So we've got United and City fans. So what we'll do is, and I know it's in the minority, we'll start with City because they finished champions last year. So obviously, you won the league last year. How do you feel that this season's going to go?
It depends really on what signings we make, I think, because we've lost Aguero. We're gonna need to replace him because I don't think Jesus can do the job or fill Aguero's boots. So I'd think either a Kane or a Haaland, and then a Jack Grealish. And I would really like Luke Shaw, if I'm honest, but obviously that's never going to happen. But I think get Kane and Grealish, and don't think there's any reason why we wouldn't win the league again and maybe even win the Champions League this time.
Yeah, I think that's the one hurdle that's evaded Pep so far. But I think it's it's a bit like England really. You've got finally you've made a progression again. So the next steps to just to win the Champions League, and I think you've probably got the best overall squad when you go into that tournament. It's just obviously sometimes it's the experience that other teams may have, and I think that's possibly what Chelsea had in the this year over years. But to be fair, there's 5 lads who work on our podcast, and 4 of them all back City. But I tell you what, Martin rubbed our noses at it when Chelsea won mine, but because we all thought City would have it hands down. I can see why you'd say you'd like Luke Shaw there, because I think the only issue you've got is you spent a lot of money on Benjamin Mendy, and I think he's flattered to deceive so far, but I think he's had potential. And I think a lot of the rumours that have been going on is who's going to be Aguero's replacement. And you've touched on probably the 2 that have been mentioned most as Harry Kane and Haaland. So, as a preference, who would you prefer out of the 2?
Well, after Kane, before the Euros, I would have said Kane, because I actually think that Kane would stay with us for longer, because although Haaland's younger, he'll be off for another big money move with Real as his agent, won't he? So, before the Euros, I would have said Kane, but after the Euros, he's just had where he only really had one good game, in my opinion, which was against Ukraine. I'm a bit shaky on whether he can got that instinct to get the job done, but he's still never won a trophy, has he? So I don't like you talk about we needed experience to win the Champions League, and he's got no experience winning anything. So
yeah,
you know what I mean. And I think Haaland's got that sort of Ronaldo mentality where he just wants to win everything and be the best in the world.
I think obviously you've been linked to put a bid in with Kane, and they also are linked to with Grealish as well. But obviously one of the rumours under financial fair play is you're not going to be able to afford both unless you sell people. So if you had to have a choice between Kane or Grealish, who would you go for?
Oh, what a question that is.
Grealish, I think. Grealish. I think he's so class. Like, easily, if he came to City, he'd be easily getting like over 20 goals, assists a season. Like playing with De Bruyne and Sterling if he carries on his form, Phil Foden. Like, yeah, I think it would be insane if we got him.
So here's another question to follow on that. So if Grealish was your number 1 target and you got him, who does he replace in the starting lineup? Bear in mind you've already got quite a stocked team.
Sterling plays that side, doesn't it?
Well, actually, I think. Oh God, it is hard, isn't it? We've got such depth. But like, if we couldn't get a new striker, I'd say that it'll be some games we'd have Jesus at striker, obviously, but then some games putting Gundogan in that centre forward position where he scored 14 goals last season. Like, he was unreal in that position. So we moved him from midfield to centre mid, and then put Grealish in the midfield, or bring Foden from the left to the midfield and put Grealish on the left.
That's it. You got with Grealish, you could play anywhere in that sort of side, like in the front three.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's yeah.
I mean, so can Sterling, to be fair, as well. Whereas, like, Mahrez, you can only play on the right. Foden can play a couple of positions.
I think you've summed that up pretty well, though, haven't you? It's a nice problem to have.
Yeah.
We've before we split the music show and the football show that we used to run together, we used to talk obviously general football on a Wednesday night as well. And this question came up quite a bit regards the Harry Kane. Would you buy him for Man City? And I always said I actually think you'll not buy him. I think you'll have another season without having a recognised number 9. I think you'll have another season as a false number 9. Possibly go with Grealish, and I think you'll wait till next year when Haaland's he's got obviously he's I think it's minimum fee goes down to 65 million. I think it's 120 buyout clause now. It's a huge difference in a year. And bear in mind you've never paid anywhere near 120 million before, but 65 is around where you've paid. Look at some of the other signs like Diaz, and it's around that sort of figure. I wouldn't be surprised if you go for Haaland next year. I actually think he'll stay with you longer than what and give you more than what Kane would do. That's my personal opinion on it. But I think I would be targeting Grealish if it was me. So what we'll do is, before we get onto the Man United side of the chat, because obviously there's 3 of you to get through, what we'll do is we will play your current single, Test of Time. So here is Test of Time. I don't know what I was putting more for, the song or your antics behind the seat. Behind...
We got really excited and I had to take our clothes off. You got to see the gigs.
It was, you know, because I got obviously I can see backstage all the time what's going on because obviously I'm running the show. But with that one not having a video, unfortunately, it doesn't cover the whole screen. Yeah, so you can actually still see what's going on.
I noticed if we started swapping clothes, but it's a bit late now, isn't it?
But it was nice to see that Daz was actually watching with great intent because, one, he also turned around and says, "Keep your clothes on, lad, it's the wrong kind of show." But then he got really into it and was going off. So I'll have to ask him the question next because he's never let us on. He was that way inclined before. So great song, lad. Seriously, it's a shame. Obviously, we couldnn't get exclusive play of the video, which is released on Friday. I did ask Paul the question, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to give us it. But still, I managed to get the song out there. And one thing we also do is every single song that we actually play on here gets added to our Spotify playlist. So what we do is all the 4 songs that you've got on Spotify at the moment will be added to that playlist. So every single artist we've had on the show since the start of the year is all in one place. Helps all the artists as well. It's, you know, They might only get pittance, but that pittance adds up for every single stream. And we've had a few of our lads listening recently, so you might have had a few. You might have had 50 pence added to your account. I don't know how you get about it, but that might be something to ask Paul on that one, though. Anyway. So, all right. So we'll go to Man United then. How do you think things are going to be this year? Obviously, you've made a good start in the transfer market with Jadon Sancho.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think your year is going to be, and who else do you think you're going to target in this window?
Sancho, we've needed for 2-3 seasons now. Thankfully we've finally got him, but I think he'll be a good addition. I don't think he was necessarily needed, but it'd be nice to have him. I think for me, our main priority is a centre half and a striker. I think we've needed we've got Cavani, but he's not got the legs.
He won't play.
He's not. I don't think he's going to be able to play every single game. With us being back in Champions League now, it's going to be quite hard for him. So, going back to the question for Grealish or Kane, I'd rather have Kane. We need a goal scorer. We need someone that's done it already, who's been doing it for years.
That was for City, though.
I know, but we can dream, can't we? I
To
think,
be fair, I actually thought Kane would probably be a better option for United than City.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think he'll stay at Tottenham. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't.
I think the one thing for Kane with Spurs though is I don't think the managerial appointment's going to set the world alight in Kane's eyes. I think it's definitely a step down from Mourinho. So it's who can afford to buy Kane in this country, and I don't think there's anyone really. And I don't think you would go to Chelsea because they've been rumoured as well. I always thought if he was to move away from Spurs in the UK, I actually think that United's the only option.
Yeah.
But whether they could afford him now after splashing out 72 million on Sancho's a different thing.
I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest. I mean, I would rather have Kane over anyone. If he was to sign one player this season, it would have been Kane.
For a while, but then obviously you brought in Wan-Bissaka, who sort of settled himself down towards the end of the season. And you brought in Alex Telles to try and because Shaw hadn't really hit the ground running under Mourinho and stuff like that. But I've always thought Shaw was a fantastic left back. He's proved it in the Euros and last season. Now with obviously Ollie's given him sort of a extra confidence.
Yeah.
And with a bit of support, and it's amazing what you can do when you've got the belief of your manager. And I think that's what he proved last year. And he's probably proved to be the best left back in the country this year.
I think it says a lot. Obviously, like you said, we brought Tellez in for a bit like competition, I suppose, wasn't it, at left back, and it's just literally, it's just like it's made him want that spot. And he's, in my opinion, I think on form last season. And in the Euros, I think he's the best left back in the world. I don't think he's the best left back in the country.
Agreed.
But that's just my opinion. I think that might have rattled a few people.
Well, sure.
No, you like him.
Well, yeah.
I think he is.
I think he's the best left back in the world.
Fair,
only for the past season.
But I think this Euros has made me respect a lot of City players. Well, a lot of Chelsea players, City players. Saka I absolutely adore, and I don't know anyone that doesn't adore him. Like,
I like Foden, me.
Yeah, I do. This competition has proper brought me together with all the English players. Yeah. It's quite nice to see, actually.
Yeah, I agree. I think I've actually got one of the lads who we know quite well from doing all the podcasts. He's actually a Man United fan as well. And he was absolutely raving when Shaw scored the other night. He's going, that's my left back. That's my left back.
Live pizza.
Totally rubbing it in because he absolutely worships the ground that Luke Shaw walks on. Seriously, he absolutely loves him, and I don't blame him. So how do you think your prediction will be this year? Do you think you can close the gap on City and Liverpool?
And Chelsea.
I think Chelsea will be back this season. I don't think, in my opinion, not just because I'm a United fan, I don't think Liverpool will be near us. Just because
getting Van Dijk back.
Yeah, but
that is massive.
You know what,
but they didn't score enough goals.
I think it'd be very close top three.
I think City will win it again. I think Chelsea will finish second, and I think we'll finish third, depending on who we buy. I think if we get Varane and maybe another and a striker, then I think second again. I think City will win the league again. I think.
It's weird how no one keeps mentioning Liverpool, but I think they're forgetting that Van Dijk will be back, and they really missed Van Dijk.
Yeah. But they did miss him at the back, but they still couldn't score goals. They couldn't.
The front three didn't fire last year, did they?
Yeah, so I think Salah, it's a good job they got Salah because I think obviously carried him. Mane was poor. Firmino scored about 7 goals, did he, last season or something? So
2 goals.
yeah, so obviously they've got great players. Liverpool have got a mint starting 11, but I think we'll finish above them. Yeah.
Well, I think the only thing I can guarantee for both of your teams is you're going to finish above my team this year, and that's Newcastle. I can confidently say that. Hopefully, in a couple of years, if we get the takeover that we want, it might be a different thing where we can get back up there and start challenging like we used to in the 90s and the early 90s and stuff like that. Because it would be nice to actually watch some decent football on a week-to-week basis rather than the dross we've been served up under Mike Ashley.
Newcastle have quite a big following. You know, they've got quite a big fan base, so it would be nice. You know, the stadium's one of the biggest in the country, isn't it? It would be nice to. I don't think anything against Newcastle. No.
Well, to be fair, it's weird because a lot of like when I was growing up, obviously, and I'm talking like, you know, my second team was City because I loved Oasis, and obviously they were huge City fans when I was growing up, and I think in that 90s era, Newcastle were a lot of other people's second teams as well, apart from Man United, because obviously we were always going head to head with yous in the late 90s and stuff like that. But I think it would be nice to be up the upper echelons of the Premier League on a yearly basis rather than having to look over our shoulder and actually have an owner that cares about us. But so hopefully we can get back to that and we can start challenging them with you guys on a year-to-year basis. But what I want to do, lads, I want to just basically say thank you very much for giving up an hour of your time and coming on and playing your music, having a bit crack and stuff like that. And what I'm going to do is, as a thank you, I'm going to play out Never Die Again, but I'm going to play the acoustic version from your YouTube because I think that's another great version of the song as well. So if you can pass my thanks on to Paul and also for getting you on the show, it's been greatly appreciated because, as I said, I love the music, wanted to get it out there, get it heard for everyone. And once again, thanks a lot for coming on and having a bit of a good laugh as well and showing all the viewers all your derriere and stuff like that to accommodate them and stuff and give them stuff they haven't paid for. But once again, lad, thank you very much for coming on the show. And that's Loaded Lounge for this week. And this is Shade with Never Die.
Sat in a room with blacked out blinds and the walls painted gold. A figure of your imagination casts a shadow, and I can see the lights on. Now the walls are painted red, and now I'm sat here thinking, are you okay? Is she okay? And I know Sally isn't dead. She's already told you the grass is green and we know the skies are blue. And I know Sally isn't dead. She'll never die. She's keeping the lights on through the cold and stormy nights. Swimming in time for the rest of our lives. Mission control, there's something wrong. I don't know why. Cause maybe it's not happening, then we all just can't assume. Cause in my heart there's a fire, and it's heading straight for the moon. And I know Sally isn't dead. She's already told you the grass is green and